Welcome to RATS, Racing Against Time for Students in Pathology. In the last class, we have had an introduction to leukemia. And today, we shall be continuing with acute myeloid leukemia. Please do remember that this is an essay question for you people. We had seen the etiology of leukemias, and this is just a recapitulation. This can be hereditary, radiation, due to viruses, chemicals, chromosomal disorders, acquired disorders such as PNH, myelodysplastic syndrome, and molecular diseases as in viral infections. This particular table, I would like you people to kindly memorize. A quick recapitulation. This will be a fundamental for the WBC pathology as such. We see that the neutrophilic series is a spectrum. It is not just an individual cell. I am finding mature neutrophils, neutrophilic metamyelocyte or a C-shaped cell, a myelocyte which is more spheric but perfectly not so, a promyelocyte. From this stage onwards, you find that there will be granules in the cytoplasm, whether it's a promyelocyte, neutrophilic myelocyte, metamyelocyte, or a mature neutrophil. And the precursor for all of these will be the myeloblast. There is a prominent nucleolus, granules are not conspicuous. So the spectrum we shall be having in mind. What happens in the case of an acute leukemia is A for arrest. Maturation, arrest will be there. So this is the maturation and these are the cells. Please understand. After the myeloblast and at the most a promyelocyte, there is an abrupt maturation arrest. We do not find mature cells in the peripheral blood. That is the hallmark of an acute myeloid or myeloblastic leukemia. Look at this particular picture. I would like you people to kindly describe it in your own words. In the background, we are all seeing the RBCs. They are around more or less normal. We can call them normocytic, normochromic. But what is catching our eyes are the numerous large cells. They are about 3 to 4 times that of the RBC. They have got cytoplasm, which has got vacuoles. The nucleus itself is exceedingly large. So this is one. And probably on seeing such cases only, Rudolf Virchow described them as white blood. When in doubt, compare. This is a normal peripheral smear. See what we are seeing in this and what we are seeing on the left in a case of a leukemia. The increase in the number of cells, the immaturity of the cells, the size of the cells, so on and so forth. Please have this in mind. Again, a hallmark of a myeloblastic leukemia is the myeloblast itself. So, what we are seeing here is the prototype or the initial cell, which is large. No second word at all. Spherical. It has got a large nucleus, prominent nucleoli. These relatively paler areas are the nucleoli. The nuclei will be 2 to 5 in number in a case of a myeloblast. Cytoplasm may be containing inclusions such as R rods. Sometimes difficult to find, sometimes very easy. So these are the points. Please remember them. And they are again summed up in this. Large cell, large nucleus, increased nuclear cytoplasmic ratio, prominent nucleoli or rods, and no cytoplasmic granules in the myeloblast. And IQ is equal to UQ. I always say the question that you omit is your university question. Do the common things first and the rest will take care of themselves. Now, the question for you people is, describe the blood picture of an AML. How are you going to describe it? This should be the prototype. The hemoglobin is obviously reduced. It can be 7 to 10 grams or even less. RBCs are initially normocytic, normochromic, but later on it can go in for a microcytic hypochromic picture because of a superimposed iron deficiency. WBCs are markedly increased in number. When I say markedly, 50,000, 1 lakh, up to 2 lakhs or even more can be seen. They are markedly increased in number. And there is an abrupt maturation arrest. Most of the cells that I see here are the myeloblast or the lymphoblast. We do not know. We'll have to do a cytochemistry on a myeloblast. Large cells with evacuated cytoplasm. Large nucleus. Platelets are markedly decreased in number. Markedly decreased in number. That will be the blood picture of an acute leukemia. Classification of leukemias I had given to you people in the first class itself. There is one classification called as FAB classification. French, American and British. These people are joined together and designed a classification. Accordingly, you have got M0 to M7. So this particular column on the second row, you people will have to memorize. The second column. Minimally differentiated M1, AML without maturation M2, with maturation M3, acute promyelocytic leukemia M4, acute myelomonocytic leukemia M5, acute monocytic leukemia M6, acute erythroleukemia M7, acute megakaryocytic leukemia. This second column is mandatory. Please do not write just M1, M2, etc. And the description for this will be as follows. In minimally differentiated, we find undifferentiated blast. AML without maturation, a lot of myeloblasts can be there, or rods are fewer in number. AML with maturation, myeloblasts will be there. Since it is maturation, I'll be able to see the promyelocytes. R rods are present. Acute promyelocytic leukemia, PMC, which can be hypergranular. We have got phagots, which means bundles of R rods. Myelomonocytic, both the myeloid as well as monocytic lineage of cells will be seen, or differentiation will be seen. That is why it is called myelomonocytic. Monocytic, predominantly monoblast. Erythroleukemia, erythroblast. And megakaryocytic, we find undifferentiated blasts, which are positive for antiplatelet antibodies. They are megakaryoblast. So this particular one we will have to memorize. This particular column I have purposely kept it blank. And now you shall see why. There is so much of difficulty in identifying it, and these are the cytochemical reagents which can be used for the cytochemistry of leukemias. Please do memorize it. I shall be explaining it in the subsequent slides. So when you are asked, this is what you people are supposed to write. There are 4 columns. One is the number, the other is the name, the description, and the cytochemistry. All the 4 things you people will have to write. There is another classification also called WHO. WHO, all of us know, World Health Organization. Accordingly, there are the various types such as AML with recurrent genetic abnormalities, with myelodysplasia related changes, therapy related myeloid neoplasms, acute myeloid leukemia not otherwise specified, myeloid sarcomas, myeloid proliferation related to congenital disorders such as Down syndrome, and plasmacytoid dendritic cell neoplasm. This is a totally different nomenclature, but when people are asked the classification of leukemias, you will have to write the FAB as well as the WHO classification. So this is the nightmare for the pathologist. I'm seeing a lymphoblast, I'm seeing a myeloblast. Both can cause leukemias. One is called ALL, the other is called AML. And we will have to identify what particular cell the patient has got, whether it is a lymphoblast or a myeloblast. And for you people, whatever be the question, it is better that you write the differences between a lymphoblast and a myeloblast. They are given over here. Size more or less same, 15 to 25. The shape of the cell is round. The cytoplasm is scanty, whereas it is moderate in the case of AML. The nucleus is moderately large. It is large and it can be convoluted. You can see a bend in the nucleus over here, convoluted. Nucleolus, 0 to 1 or at the most 2 in a case of a lymphoblast, 2 to 5 in a case of myeloblast. There will be the lymphocytes, which are the mature counterparts, promyelocytes in a case of a myeloblast. NC ratio is high in both, granules are absent in both, or rods are present in a myeloblast, absent in a lymphoblast. Cytochemistry, there are the differences that are given, we are again repeated. And the clinical presentation can be lymphadenopathy in a case of a ALL, whereas it will be organomegaly, bleeding manifestations, and anemia in a case of a myelocytic leukemia. The differences between lymphoblast and myeloblast you must memorize. And this is the cytochemistry of leukemias. This can come as an independent short note or a part of an essay. And this particular column, which I have redesigned, this from my book, one page. I would like you people to kindly memorize it. It is not very difficult at all. Myeloperoxidase, for example, is positive in a case of all myelocytic cells. So M1 to M4. So it is positive. I mentioned it. All the others, it is negative. Easy to remember. Sudan black, same as myeloperoxidase. Positive in M1 to M4, negative in others. Non-specific esterase is positive only when the monocytes or monoblasts are present. Therefore, M4, this is a monocytic leukemia. Therefore, it is positive. And this is monocytic leukemia. Again, it is positive. Non-specific esterase is positive in these two conditions, negative in all. Periodic acid shift. It is not periodic. It is periodic acid shift. Is positive in a case of ALL. The cells will be showing block positivity as though it has blotted out. Whereas fine granular positivity can be present in erythroleukemia. Block positivity is seen in, can be asked as an MCQ. Otherwise, you answer, you get a mark for it. Acid phosphatase, neuron specific analysis can be positive. Acid phosphatase in a case of ALL, it is positive. Neuron specific analysis in a case of monocytic leukemia. TRAP, tartrate resistant acid phosphatase, is positive in this. Hairy cell leukemia. All the others, it is negative. Please by heart this particular tabular column. Scleroma. It is not a question much, but it is the presence of leukemic cells in the soft tissues. Here I am finding an organ which is infiltrated by the leukemia and it imparts a greenish tinge onto it. Chlorophyll means it is the green color of the plants and leaves. So since it has got that kind of a color, it is a tumor with a greenish tinge. It is called scleroma. It's a solid counterpart of a leukemia. And when we see the tissue as such, we'll be seeing immature cells that are infiltrating it. This is probably some muscle bundles over here in which I'm finding it. So it is a scleroma. You can mention it. Some books call it as myeloid sarcoma. Always a leukemia, no? It is a very sad and a despondent state, fighting against a leukemia. You can see this picture. It imparts numerous implications and meanings to it. A child is fighting against cancer. And then obviously the baldness is because of the chemotherapy that has been given. And this happens to be a case of an ALL. We should be very careful because ALL, it is present usually in children. And a correct diagnosis has to be given or made so that the correct treatment can be given to the patient. What is the difference between ALL and AML? This is a very simplified column. You people can memorize. Very easy. ALL more common in children. AML any age. Children, adolescents, and adults. Lymphadenopathy in ALL it is present, not significant. Meningeal infiltration common in ALL, less common. And mediastinal mass can be seen in ALL, not seen in AML. Again, one page. So these are the differences. This will add beauty to your answers. You always identify a person by the company it keeps. Sometimes we as pathologists will be having a lot of confusion. What's this? But then, since they all originate from a similar origin, they will all be grouped together. That is why we say identify a person by his company. So all these cells are blasts. So look at this one. This is varying in shape than with this. But then when you see everything together, it is a blast, a myeloblast. It has got prominent nucleoli. Look at the number of nucleoli in this. I'm finding 4 nucleoli. There is abundant cytoplasm, and some of the cells show cytoplasmic inclusions called the OR rods. There can be vacuolation as well. So this can be a myelomonocytic type of a leukemia. It is possible. So the number markedly increased. Morphology. They are large cells, 4 times the size of an RBC. The nucleus is large, increase in nuclear cytoplasmic ratio, mildly convoluted. Nucleoli are prominent, and they have got inclusions in the cytoplasm called the OR rods. This is the way you people should describe. And obviously, platelets are decreased in number. So this is the way you people should describe. This is a classification again. I would like you people to just memorize it. So they are all positive for Sudan black or myeloperoxidase. It is positive in the case of any myeloid cell from M1 to M4. And other things we had mentioned. So this particular classification kindly by heart and mention. There is another purpose for this slide, a condition called as aleukemic leukemia. It will be a leukemia, but then you don't see a leukemia. That is because in the peripheral blood it is decreased. Similarly, subleukemic leukemia, the patient total count will be only about 6,000 or 7,000, but it is a leukemia. You cannot have a count of 5,000 on Monday and 2 lakhs on Tuesday. It is not possible. So there is a gradual evolution, and these are some stages which we can miss. In order to make a diagnosis, we will have to do either a bone marrow aspiration. You find that the bone marrow will be flooded with blast cells. Or you take the blood and then you centrifuge it. This is the area of the plasma cells and the platelets and the leukocytes. This is the RBC and this is the plasma over here. From this one, if I make a smear, put in a Pasteur pipette, take 1 drop from here and make a smear, you'll be finding a lot of blast cells. This is called a Buffy-Coat. There are other uses of it. We'll see it in a different context. So this is aleukemic leukemia or subleukemic leukemia, wherein you can do a bone marrow aspiration or study the Buffy-Coat. Look at these granules. Sometimes it is very difficult for us. We study it. There are some special stains. It is positive with Sudan black. So M1 to M4, it is positive. Another stain is myeloperoxidase. Again, it is positive. I am finding the dark granules in the cytoplasm. Sometimes the cell will be showing block positivity. It happens to be ALL with PAS. TRAP, tartrate resistant acid phosphatase, is positive in a cell called hairy cell leukemia. If you observe carefully, there are fine hair-like projections in this. Myeloperoxidase, this is a leukemia, but myeloperoxidase is negative, therefore it can be ALL. Monoblast, we identify by means of non-specific esterase. So, I hope you people are able to understand the importance of the cytochemistry. This is again PAS positivity in a case of ALL. A summary is given over here. You people can kindly memorize a beautiful one. Granular positivity in the case of PAS can be seen in erythroleukemia M6. So how do you diagnose a leukemia? Peripheral smear, bone marrow smear, cytochemistry of leukemias, immunophenotype. Sometimes you'll have to study the chromosomal disorder, cytogenetic disorder, and molecular basis. A flow cytometry also may be needed in some cases to confirm the diagnosis. Gracias.